This is a daily movement routine to keep the body supple, free from tension, pain and discomfort. The mantras being that motion is lotion and that movement is medicine. So I do believe that the body is not maintenance free, and obviously we do inhabit our bodies until the day we die. So I do believe it is worth your time to regularly check in with the body so that we can keep moving and feeling well and maintain our independence into older age. So this is the anecdote for stagnation. We keep the energies moving. Let's get started. Starting off at the neck, bringing the head backwards and then forwards, looking up to the sky and then tucking the chin. So now, just rotating the head side to side, looking over each shoulder. Next, keeping the shoulders still, we're just laterally tilting the head side to side, thinking about bringing our ears down to our shoulders. Then, just starting to roll the neck in all directions, doing 5 reps one way and then 5 reps the other. So, I'd suggest making this a daily routine. It's perfect as a warm-up for most activities, and is especially perfect after a prolonged period of time spent being stagnant, such as after car journeys, long hours in the office, after school and in between travelling. Coming down to the shoulders now, performing shoulder circles by pulling the shoulders up towards the ears and then depressing the shoulder on the way down in a backwards circular motion. And then just reversing this motion as we perform the shoulder circles in a forwards direction. So now with the palms facing upwards, keeping the arms straight, begin swinging the arms upwards overhead. And then just allowing the upper spine to extend as the arms go up. And now, with the palms facing downwards this time, just swinging at the shoulders again. And then extending through the upper back again. Just shaking that off now. And begin expanding the arms backwards. The right arm goes upwards and the left arm goes backwards, creating a diagonal line. And then pulling the arms backwards in a horizontal line. And then diagonal again with the left arm going up this time. So just playing with the angles of the arms here. It doesn't need to be too rigid. Just shaking that off again as we start to laterally bend side to side whilst extending the arm out overhead as we do so. So we're really opening up into the sides of our bodies, mainly the lats. And we're just going to be alternating each side for a few reps here. So movement in this way encourages the production of synovial fluid in the joints, which helps to lubricate the joints for efficient movement. But just as importantly, the synovial fluid is used to deliver nutrients to the joints for repair and regeneration to take place. So that's why it's important that we keep regularly moving the body. So now, rotating left and right and extending the arm out as we do so, just allowing the gaze to follow as we twist deeply into the upper back. Coming down to the ground now, laying on our fronts, ready to open up into the chest. To do so, we're going to reach our left arm up and out, and then bring our right leg up and behind us, attempting to touch the ground with the foot. And then we're going to perform the same on the opposite side, and then just keep alternating for a few reps. So on the next rep, whichever side you're on, we're going to hold in this position for 30 seconds. Allow the head to rest, try to breathe calmly, and see if we can let go of any felt tension in this position. Play with the position of the foot here to deepen or lessen the intensity of the stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now just the same on the other side. Final few seconds on this side. 3, 2, 1. And then turning onto our fronts and then up into our hands and knees into a quadruped position as we begin a few rounds of cat and cow. So inhaling, arching the back, looking upwards, and then exhaling, rounding the spine. So keep syncing breath to movement in this way for a few more reps. So extending the whole back and then curling the spine up, getting lots of movement into the spine, which can often be very rigid and stagnant due to long hours spent sitting in chairs. And then moving the spine in a circular motion, going through flexion and extension rightwardly, and then left. Coming back up to the knees now, and then reaching the hands out in front of us with straight arms, keeping the hips above our knees, allowing the chest to drop towards the direction of the floor, and if we're feeling open enough, we can allow the head to rest on the ground. Again, coming back to a calming breath, it may feel that you start to sink lower on each exhale, letting go of any tension in the upper back and shoulders. So just coming back up to the knees again and shaking that one off as we bring our hands to the right hand side this time, as we sink into our left side, pulling the hips to the right at the same time, which is going to open up the left side, specifically the large latimus muscle. Again, calm breaths in this pose, sinking deeper on each exhale. And then, once again coming back up, bringing the hands to the left hand side this time, clasping the right hand with the left, as we sink and open up into the right side of our body. Again, pulling the hips in the opposite direction to the side that we're sinking into to deepen the stretch through the whole right side of the back. Back up to the knees again. This time we're bringing the hands forwards and the feet backwards to come into a plank pose, activating the musculature around the core, which again is often very weak due to long hours spent sitting, etc. So holding this position, we keep the ribs tucked down, we don't let the hips sink towards the ground, and we're just going to be spending another 15 seconds or so here. Up to the knees again, bringing the hands out in front, turning the hands backwards towards yourself, flat on the ground, keeping the elbows locked, and then just rocking forwards and backwards, and then moving in a circular direction to the right. And then to the left. So coming out of this now, hold the hands out in front and actively extend the wrists, thinking about pulling the fingers back towards yourself. Just holding this for a few more seconds. Just releasing that and then making our way onto our back, laying down on the ground. So bring the knees up and then just allowing them to fall to the left. And then the right. Trying to keep the upper body fixed at the ground as we perform a few reps of this, mobilizing the lower back. So on your next rep, whichever side you're on, we're going to hold in this position, maybe using the hand as a support here to pull the knees into the stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then the same again on the opposite side, breathing calmly, thinking about twisting the upper back in the opposite direction to the side the legs are twisted to. Coming back to our backs now to perform a hollow body hold. To do so, we bring our arms overhead, flex our core muscles and bring the feet off the ground, creating a dish shape or a C shape. So we can regress this by tucking the knees or bringing the arms by our side. Either way, we're just going to be holding in this position. 10 more seconds here. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just taking a moment here. Coming onto our sides now, and then pushing ourselves up to our feet. Standing tall, we're going to be performing 10 squats. So breaking at the hips and knees, and just going as deep as your body will allow you to go. 3, 2, 1. And then just shaking that off as we come back down to a seated position we have our knees bent and feet wide apart on the floor as we perform hip swivels by dropping the legs to one side and then the other, and repeating this for reps. So we keep the torso facing forwards as we move in and out of internal and external rotation at the hips. We can then progress this by coming into a 90-90 position, in which we turn into the direction of the lead leg, positioning our front foot further away from our bodies. Or we can make this easier by keeping the feet closer to us. But if it's still out of reach, we can stick with the hip swivels. Again, we're just moving in and out of this position, getting lots of blood flow and synovial fluid into the hip capsule. So from here, coming back to our backs, and then hugging the knees into our chest, and just holding this for a few seconds. Releasing that, keep the knees bent with the feet wide apart on the ground, and letting the knees cave inwards into internal rotation, performing a few reps, coming in and out of this position. From here, tuck the knees up at 90 degrees, putting 2 fists between the knees. Squeeze the knees into the fists as we pull the feet wide apart. Take a rest here, and then perform this active stretch again for 10 seconds. Then take in another rest here before we perform one more round of this active stretch. So by strengthening and mobilizing the hips in this way, it allows for more efficient movement around the hips, preventing compensations in the lower back and the knees, which are a common cause of discomfort, pain and injury. So next, bring the feet to the ground with bent knees. Allow the knees to fall out to the sides as the soles of the feet remain in contact with one another. Just moving in and out of this position for 10 reps. And then, after the final rep, just holding in this bottom position with the knees wide apart for 30 seconds. Opening up and relaxing the often tight musculature around the hips. So bringing the knees back up, and then once again hugging the knees into our chest, holding this for a few seconds. And then relaxing, going back down to our laying position on our back. So bringing our right leg up, we're going to straighten and bend the leg for reps, which is dynamically stretching the hamstrings and flossing the sciatic nerve. So we can make this easier by holding the back of the leg or bringing the leg closer to the floor. Or we can make this harder by holding the toes and straightening the leg closer to the direction of our head. Finishing up on the right leg and then repeating the same on the left leg. 10 reps or so, just start off gentle, go as far as the leg will allow. It will open up over time. So we're going to do one more round of this on each side. So just finish the last rep on our left leg. Taking a moment. And then coming back to our right leg for 10 reps. Again, just taking a moment here before we perform our final 10 reps on the left leg. So after the last rep, just shaking that off on our backs now. It can be quite an intense sensation in the back of the hamstrings. And then coming back up to our feet. From our standing posture, we're going to step our right foot forwards, dropping our weight forwards into the front leg for 5 lunges. So on our 5th rep, we're going to bring the hands down to the ground and bring our front foot further forwards and relax into a lizard pose stretch. If the hands aren't able to reach the ground, you can use an object to place the hands onto, so maybe yoga blocks, books or a chair. Breathing into this posture, thinking about allowing the hips to sink towards the ground, opening up the hip flexors. We then progress this by bringing the hands to the knees or the support of an object like a chair and stand tall with the torso. We can keep leaning forwards to make this easier if needed. So squeeze the glute as we do this, the outer bum muscle. From this position, we're going to lift the back knee off the ground and pulse in and out of this for 5 reps, and then holding the 5th rep for 10 seconds. So we're really trying to straighten that back leg, not overarching in the lower back as we do this. Maybe using the support of a chair or a wall if we're struggling with balance in this position. So coming out of that now, back to our knees, and then back up to our feet, shaking that one off. We're going to repeat the same sequence on our left leg this time. So left leg forwards, 5 lunges. On our 5th rep, bringing the hands down to the ground, or blocks, or a chair, and let the hips sink towards the ground. Then bringing our hands to our front knee and standing the upper body upright. Or again, we can lean forwards with a support, such as a chair, if we need to make this easier. And then the final part of this sequence on the legs, pulsing the back knee on and off the ground for 5 reps, holding our 5th rep for 10 seconds. So really straightening that back leg as much as possible. Finishing our final hold, and then coming back to our knees. So now, bringing the hands forwards, or coming down onto the elbows to make this easier, we're arching through the spine as we come into a upward dog pose. Keeping the hands in contact with the ground, we're now going to sink the bum back over the heels, or as close to them as we can get, allowing the back to round into child's pose. Then back up again for upwards dog, and then just repeating this movement in and out of these 2 positions for a few more reps. So again, we can make this easier by coming down onto the elbows, or taking the hands wider apart in upwards dog. And then in child's pose, just allowing the bum to sink back as far as the body will allow. Gently pushing the bum back using the force in the arms. So we're just going to do 2 more rounds of this now. So in our bodies, we've got something called our lymphatic system. Its purpose is to drain lymph from the body, which is the waste products produced by cells. So the mechanical processes of physically moving the body plays a crucial role in moving this lymph around the body so that it can be removed, highlighting the importance of daily movement like we're doing now. So making your next child's pose your last one, and then coming back up to the knees. From here, coming to a seated position on our bum. We will then fold the right leg on the ground and cross the left leg over the top of it, hugging the knee into the chest with the arm. So on screen you'll see the easier variation of this, lying on our back, crossing the left leg and resting it on our right knee, bringing the legs closer to the body to deepen the stretch, or taking them further away to lessen it. So whichever variation you're doing, we're just holding for 10 more seconds. So coming out of that one, and then it's just a straight swap to the opposite leg. So crossing the right leg over the left, keeping the ankle flexed, a tall spine, pulling the knee into the chest. So 30 seconds here, calm breathing, in and out of the nose. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So releasing that and then standing up tall on our feet. With the feet hip width apart, we're performing 10 more squats. So on the 10th rep, we're going to be holding in this bottom position. So we're spreading the knees with the elbows, spending 30 seconds or so here. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then coming back to standing, we're going to be performing 10 hip hinges. So we keep the back straight and send the hips back as if we're closing a set of jaws behind us with our bum. So just going down as far as we can keep the spine neutral, not rounding. So these are really good for strengthening the lower back. So last rep now, and then that's it for this routine. Shake the body out, let out a loud sigh or a scream if it feels appropriate. So I'd like to thank you for following this routine. Try and make it a frequent habit. I believe it will serve your body greatly. Thank you. Keep the energies moving.